What's up, guys? It's Lauren here, Lolo, whatever you want to call me. Today I'm going to be sharing a very personal story, and I'm not doing it just to do it. I wanted to make sure that if I was ever going to make this video, which I am now, that I wanted to make it with the purpose of at least reaching out to someone. I don't even know what I'm going to title this yet because it's kind of like two stories into one. I sent a nude. In result from that, was close to suicide. And from that, I lost all my friends. I'm going to get straight into it. So, preface, I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean. This was the summer going into 8th grade, so I just entered 7th grade. Chris, do I know? I think the Chris's I know aren't that important in my life. Is that mean? Yeah, that is. Okay. Chris was going into 9th grade, so he was a year older than me. Our lockers were near each other. We weren't like the best of friends, but we would always like run into each other. Obviously our lockers were near each other, so we saw each other pretty often, and we would have small talk and stuff. I don't even know if we signed each other's yearbook. We never had a class together or anything. Like I said, he was a year older than me, and we went to a private Christian school. So, yeah, that'll tie in later on in the story. So, summer rolls along, and however I get his number, I ended up getting his number, and we ended up texting. Now, we were texting on terms of not just a friendly text, it was like flirting and stuff, and I took it upon myself that we were like talking like on a serious level. I did like him, he claimed that he liked me, and we just went off from that. Keep in mind that I'm not even going to blame it on my age or me being too young to understand or anything like that, but he knew. He was consciously aware that I had the biggest crush on him, and he reciprocated those feelings to me. So I thought that they were genuine, but they weren't genuine. So during that summer, he told me that he was actually not like returning to our school. Like he was going to an actual high school. The school we went to actually like went all the way to 12th grade. Like from like being a baby, you could be there like your whole life basically. But he was leaving so he can go to a normal high school. So I had that in mind. Like I knew that, but there was always an underlying message of like, eventually we'll be in a relationship. And I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not making that up. I know I'm not delusional for thinking that, because I knew I wouldn't have been as caught up if I wasn't being fed that information. You know what I mean? This isn't really a big thing, but we would never talk on the phone. It was just texting, but we would text like all the time, like 24/7. Like I remember this summer vividly. We were always texting from morning till we went to sleep. So one night, this is where things go down. One night, I remember I was on my couch downstairs, and Chris texts me, and he says, "Send me a sexy picture of you, winky face." Right off the bat, I was like, no, like I'm not doing that. Like I don't do that. Like that's not me.
Oh, come on, like, why not? Like, I just want to see what you look like. It's not that big of a deal.
Trying to convince me. Took about a week for him to convince me, or bring it up randomly for me to like give in. And the straw that broke the camel's back, if you've heard that saying before, we're here with it. The thing that completed it for me, that validated it for me, was him saying to me,
If you send this picture, I will ask you to be my girlfriend, and we'll be in a relationship. We'll be boyfriend and girlfriend.
sidetrack. If you are close to me, you know that I always been like a relationship person, and I crave like loving on someone. Like I honestly feel like that's just something I love to do, loving on people. And I like to make people happy, especially if I like you. I'm willing to like risk it all for you. Like, I'm just a lover. I really am. And I just love the idea of being in a relationship, but not like that's my only focus in life. It's just more of like, if it happens, I'd be more than happy to like be the best girl I can be to you. You know what I mean? So he knew that. He knew that I wanted a relationship with him, and he used that to convince me to send him this picture. One night, I sat in my room, sitting back there against that wall, and I took the picture. I took it on my laptop. I took a picture like from my phone, like of the computer, sent it to him. Some time goes by, 5-10 minutes. I remember sitting there and I'm just like, I was just texting you. Like, I just told you I was getting ready to take this picture. You told me, oh, okay, can't wait. I send you this picture, you're not responding. What's going on? I say, is the picture like okay? Like, why I asked for him to validate me exposing myself, I don't know. And he goes,
I gotta go. Talk to you later.
I gotta go. Talk to you later. I gotta go. I will never forget how devastated, how so many emotions were hitting me just left to right. I was so sad, angry, disappointed in myself. I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't tell anyone. And I'm just sitting there in my room, and I just knew that I messed up. There was no going back from it. I knew that this was it. Like, how do I bounce back from this? How do I hold my, like, you know what I mean? Like, how do I move on from this? Like, I was just so, I was so sad. I really was. And I knew that I no longer was going to be talking to him, like, in a serious way. After that, the next day, hella dry with me. I want to say a week or so passes, and is it weird that I actually found my old phone that I was using when I was texting him. And I don't have all the messages between us, but I do have a message of when I started leading up to being suicidal. I looked at the dates and it was on August 4th. So I'm guessing I sent it either on August 4th or like around that time. But afterwards I remember like telling him like, you know, like, why aren't we talking anymore? Like, I did what you asked me to do. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. So I'm going to read the messages. One thing, I'm not going to read all the messages because honestly I was so repetitive. He was so repetitive. He kept on saying that he was busy. And I was just like, you know, why are you busy? He was like, don't worry about it. And I was like, are you alright? Should I stop texting you for good? Like, why would I ask him that knowing that he played me? And I still didn't want to accept it. And I was just so embarrassed. And I didn't want anything to happen. Sorry if the angle is different. I had technical difficulties. At one point he was like, basically at this point he was threatening to expose me. And he was saying that he was going to post my nude on Instagram. And that he was like, hold on, let me see if I could find it. So his reasoning behind playing me, not even playing me, was because something had gone down with his friends where, what are the odds? The girl that was bullying me after this whole thing went down, we were at one point best friends. Sorry. We were inseparable, always together. And we saw a boy getting bullied. And so we told the principal. And although I didn't like speak, I was just there with her like for support, but I was still like involved. And basically we told him a group of guys that we thought were bullying him. And like there was supposed to be like a video going around of like them like, you know, messing with him and stuff. And so they were doing it at school too. And I've never been okay with bullying like at all. So I guess he was friends with them, and he was doing this to get revenge on them. So he got a nude from me so he could hold it over my head because I messed with his homeboys and basically got them in trouble. So he was like,
If I hear something about your bitch ass messing with the guys next to you, you already know.
And I was so submissive and like, is my dog serious right now? I was being so just like, okay, like whatever you want, like please just don't. I hope you guys don't mind him. He's just like looking at the birds outside. Lay down. I was just being very submissive and very just like, please don't, please don't, please don't. In which I totally would not be doing that, like, this day and age. Like, I'm so glad I've grown from this. But he was like, send me a video of yourself and then I won't post it. And I'm like, no, like, I'm not going to post a video and I'm not going to fall for your tricks again. I'll seriously send it right now. He was like, call yourself a bitch. I did it. I called myself a bitch. And he was like, now call yourself a bitch and ugly. I did that too. I kept on saying bye. He was like, oh, don't go. And I was like, I should. Like, you're being mean. Bye. He was like, but it's fun to bug you. OMG, no. I said, still, like, it's not okay. And you're one of those kids that makes them want to kill themselves. And he says,
oh, too bad. Ha 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 ha.
I said, so you're proud of that? Wow, okay, bye. He said,
I honestly don't care if you do. Ha ha.
I said, no, I'm not going to because that's stupid. Bye. He goes,
yes, why can't you just do it, OMG? But don't do it now. I like bugging you.
he literally told me to kill myself, but not to do it now because he enjoys bothering me. I was just like, leave me alone. I was like, you're a jerk. He's like, can I post it on Facebook? And I was like, you're kidding. Please don't. He said, it will only ruin your life. That's it. I said, what do you want from me? He said, well, why? It's just a picture. I said, what do you want? He said, what do you mean? And then I said, you just like bugging me, don't you? He said, no, I just want you to realize you are nowhere near the girls, where the girls are these days. Like, I'm not up to par with his liking or with popular girls, if that makes sense. He was like, I'll make a new account, follow all your friends, and then post it, and they'll love it. And I was like, I'm going to sleep. He said, perfect. I'll post it while you're asleep, so there's no way you could claim it isn't you. He's like, but it sounds like you don't care if I post it. He's like,
don't you get it? This whole time I was faking it, like the whole me saying you're cute and stuff, LOL.
Obviously, I knew that this time. And then, he's like, send me another pic. I won't send the video. He's basically trying to negotiate with me and stuff. It ends in, I don't like you. Any more questions? Because I already have it ready on my screen for you to send the video. You have 10 minutes to send it. Don't even act like you fell asleep. And you already know what I want in the video. I said, no, I don't, but whatever. Bye. How many times do I have to say bye? So the last messages he sent was,
so I can send it? I'm seriously gonna press send. Okay, I sent it on Instagram. It got 6 likes already. Should I follow your friends now?
and I didn't respond to him. So this all happened on August 4th, this whole conversation with him. So I'm guessing I sent the picture like at the end of July or something. So we get back to school. Obviously he's not there because he's going to a new high school. I honestly think that was a blessing in disguise because I don't think I was going to be able to like go back to school if I knew he was going to be there. But I don't know how I would tell my dad, oh, I can't go back to the school. Like, I wouldn't have like a good enough reason for me not to let him take me out of the school. So I'm really glad that he didn't come back the next year. School starts, and my best friend at the time, I hadn't told anyone all summer. I was traumatized. I was so scared that it actually was on Instagram. I was just so scarred and embarrassed, and I regretted it so much. I get back to school. I tell my best friend at the time. She's the only one I told. The only one I told. And I kept on telling her, like, I'm gonna tell my dad before he finds out, because I'm such a big believer in everything done in the dark will come to light, without a doubt. It'll find its way to the surface. It'll find its way back to that person. It's just how life goes. And my dad is one of those parents where no matter what my brother and I do, he would rather us tell him what he did, but what we did before someone of authority, or he hears it through a friend that we did something. He'd rather us tell him ourselves. So I knew that I had to tell my dad before it came out. I don't know how it was going to come out, but I just knew one day it was, and I needed to be the one to tell him first. So I remember I told her, and I was like, I'm going to tell my dad, like, I know how he is. I explained to her how he was, and she was like, yeah, I get that. And for like a couple of days, she would always message me, like, have you told your dad yet? Have you told your dad yet? Have you told your dad yet? And I was always like, no, like, I'll get to it. Like, it's not the easiest thing to be like, hey, Dad, I sent a nude, and I don't know if he posted it on Instagram or not. Like, I don't know if he, like, blocked me or something, but he threatened to put it on social media, and I didn't know if he did, and he took it off. I'm not sure, like, I didn't know. So she kept on asking me over and over again. Then there was one day, and we came out of class together, and we were about to go to lunch, and she was like, oh wait, like, I'm gonna talk to the teacher, like, can you just wait for me outside? I'm like, yeah, of course. So I wait out there for her, and I think we were with our other friends too, but they left, and I was the only one waiting for her. And she tended to do this thing, either when she was lying or when she was kind of like just doing something a little like sus. She'd like tilt her head and like twirl her hair, and I would notice that she would do that if something like sketchy was going on, or if she was like embarrassed about something. So when she came out of the classroom, I remember this like it was yesterday. She was doing that while she was talking to the teacher, and I'm like, what is she like talking to her about? Like, okay. I remember I asked her, what'd you talk to like our teacher about? Oh, it's nothing, it's nothing. Or she gave me an excuse or something, and I brushed it off. No big deal. I kid you not, I want to say maybe a day later, 2 days later tops, there were these lists that we got during our 4th period, and it would show if you got like demerits or not. And demerits are like, if you're talking in class, you get 5 demerits. If you litter, 10 demerits. If you got up to like 150 or 175, like, you were expelled. So they rack up during the year. And if you get past like 100 or something like that, you're on probation for the next semester. So this list would be printed out every 4th period. Every middle school and high school class would get these papers that will show like if you got demerits the day before, if any of your teachers gave you any, and if you were on the dean's list. Was it the dean's list or the principal's list or some list? And if you were in bold letters, that means you have to go to the principal's office after 4th period is lunchtime. So I think, or maybe did we get this 3rd period? Because my 4th period class was the Bible class. So I don't know. But at one point in the day, we got this list. And guess who's on the list? I was on the list. He called my name and said, that's what it is. You're mandatory. When you're mandatory, you have to go to the principal's office after 4th period, which is lunch. My heart dropped. I instantly knew that it was because of the picture. Like, I just knew. There was no other reason or way that I could be on this list. And this was all happening in September. School just started. Like, there was no other explanation for the reason why I would be mandatory. I remember walking to the principal's office and just being so scared and having my heart in my stomach and just knowing like this is it. Like, I got caught up. How? I really don't know. I walk in there, the principal was like, we know about you taking the nude picture. You know, we know who you sent it to. Like, this is unacceptable. Like, do you want to talk about it? Like, what is there to talk about? You guys already know what I did. Then she goes, we've already called your dad, and he's on his way to the school. They tell me that he is on the way to the school already. I've never felt so low. I've never felt so trapped and scared. I can't even explain to you how I felt. And to be in 8th grade going through this was just like too much for me. When my dad comes to pick me up, he doesn't even look at me. he just goes, "You ready? Let's go." Doesn't want to talk to the principal. I don't think he talked to the principal that I remember. But we walked out. He didn't say anything to me going down those stairs, coming out of that office, walking across the street. He made me go to my locker, clean out my locker, because he was like, they're not going to let you back at this school. Like, I can't believe you would do this. Like, your reputation is going to be so ruined. Like, I can't believe you would do this. I feel like I don't even know you. I'm so disappointed in you. And you know when they pull that disappointed card, that just hits, that hits deep. That hits harder than, like, a butt whooping. I don't care what anybody says. That sticks with you. I pack up all my stuff out of my locker, and I actually end up going back to school. I want to say this happened like on a Friday or something. Or no, I was suspended for like 2 days. And during those 2 days, nobody hit me up. Nobody asked me if I was okay. During those 2 days, I basically showed my dad my phone. I told him everything. He made me give him all my passwords to all my social media. I had to delete all my social media. I got my butt whooped. I was grounded from September till my birthday. So September, October, November, December, January, February. Like 5 months I was grounded. Couldn't go out. Didn't have a phone. No social media. Just from home to school, school to home. Like, there was no in between. And my dad gave me back like my laptop and my phone on my birthday of the following year. When I got back to school, I just knew that everyone was going to know. And it's such a small school that word travels so fast. And just the fact of my name being on the mandatory list, like, people already probably knew about that as well. My principal ended up giving me 125 demerits. And that meant that I was going to be on probation second semester, and that I was 25 demerits away from getting expelled. I remember I ended up getting like 10 more demerits for like talking or something, like on 2 separate occasions. So I had like, or maybe she gave me 135. I don't know why that number just popped in my head. Maybe it's, yeah, I ended on 135. Just 15 away from getting expelled from that school. I get back to school, and I remember being in my PE class, and Shelly, that's gonna be the only girl I told Shelly. I remember walking into PE class, and Shelly was with the rest of our friends. At this time, basically her friends, because they all turned their back on me, and she didn't say a word to me. She didn't ask me if I was okay. She didn't acknowledge me or anything. We just looked at each other. She just kind of like gave me a look, and I knew that she had told all of the rest of the friend group. I knew that most of my guy friends knew. I kid you not, during lunch that day, no one sat with me. I sat by myself at school, and I remember I just brought my Bible to school, and I was just trying to read the Bible, trying to like understand why God was putting me through this, why he even let me send the picture in the first place, why I had to get humiliated and blackmailed, basically, because this boy felt like he was obligated to defend his friends that could probably care less about the situation because it's summertime. And I was just so hurt. I was just so low in life, and I remember I sat by myself for a couple of days, and I found out that, actually, I think I found out the day of. Yeah, I found out the day of, or like the day I had come back. I think I got called back in the office. I remember sitting in the chair, and the teacher that Shelly was talking to initially, when she was tilting her head and twirling her hair, she sat next to me, and she basically held me, and I was just crying my eyes out, and I was like, I don't know what to do. My life is over. Like, I don't know how to come back from this. And she was just like, you know, the Lord is with you. And it was just so hard for me to believe her because I was such in a low, shallow place. And she told me, you know, Shelly is the one who told me about what you did, and I'm the one who told the principal. A lot of you guys might think, why didn't you like push her off of you and, I don't know, like cuss her out and say that's none of your business to tell. I did it because I felt like it was also a relief that my dad knew and that it was out there and I could like work on getting past it now rather than bottling in this information and having it eat at me. And I wasn't upset at her. I was so heartbroken towards Shelly because she was supposed to be my best friend, my right hand. We went everywhere together. She was supposed to be my girl. And she betrayed me. And didn't even have the nerve to at least say, I think you need to tell someone now before I do. Or something. There was no heads up. And with her asking me repeatedly if I had asked my dad was her way of basically doing that. But I didn't know that. I never thought in a million years that she would sit there and betray me. Tell my deepest secret to a teacher who told a principal. I was so hurt. I really was. Like, that was like the most betrayed I've ever been to this day in my life. I actually found out that Chris actually went to the school and was like bawling his eyes out. And if he was 18, he actually would have gone to jail for like being a pedophile or something like that. But I think he was still like 16 or 17 at the time. How old are you in freshman year? You're like 15 or something? Yeah. So I heard that he was like crying like a baby. He was like so apologetic and stuff. And I have not talked to him like since then. My dad was obviously like so on my head. I had always had to keep my door open. Like I had to wait for everyone to go in their room in order to change and stuff. I remember I was laying on my floor. I still felt at home like a burden, and I felt like disgusting, and I still knew that people were talking about me at school. I remember laying down on my floor and my dad asked me if I wanted to go with him to pick up my brother from school, and I said no because I was just too deep in my feelings to go out into public. And I was laying on my floor and I was just thinking, there's no way my dad's gonna forgive me. Teachers now probably know about what I did. Parents are gonna find out. Everyone's gonna find out. It's somehow gonna resurface. And just as I was ready, to get up, go to my dad's room, just find any and all the pills I could find, I was ready to just take as many pills as I could, lay down in my bed, and just go to sleep and not wake up. I just felt like I felt disgusting, and I felt at that moment nothing mattered to me. Not my family, not, I can't even say friends because I didn't even have friends. Nothing mattered but me just not being here. And I just felt like it was the only way for me to feel at peace and to just be one less thing for my dad to have to worry about. Because I just knew he was like disgusted with me. I knew that I just really disappointed him, and I disappointed myself, and I just felt so, I don't know, everything was just going through my head, like, him calling me ugly, like, oh, you really thought I liked you, like, everything was just hitting me at once, and I was just like, I can't do it, I really can't, and I'm so glad, I thank God to this day, I'm so glad that right before I got up to go to my dad's room, my dad ended up coming home with my brother. I really just felt like there was no way out. There was no other option to me at that point. And I'm just so glad that my dad walked in. Because I was so close to doing it. I really was. I really was. And if you have ever had those dark thoughts in your head, I want you to know that it will get better. It does get better. You just have to give it time. take it day by day. It will get better. You will grow from it. You will be able to share your story and be able to reach out to someone. Like, I really hope that I could just reach out to someone and let them know that it's not the end. It's not over. I stayed at that school for another year, and then I went to a public school, and I ended up seeing Shelly at a party that we were both invited to. I had so much anger towards her, but she pulled me to the side and she apologized for everything, and I didn't even get into what happened during the rest of 8th grade year. She put me through hell, and I'm glad that around that time I had enough backbone and a good stable friend group to get me through what she was doing to me, and I'm actually still friends with one of the girls who helped me through that time. But yeah, I just want to really press the fact that it is okay. It will be okay. And if anyone is ever blackmailing you, tell someone. Don't prolong the situation. And I just hope that you guys didn't just take this as like, oh, I know her business now, but more of, you now know a side of me that has hands down made me so much stronger. And although the situation is still traumatizing, it has made everything okay with life now. And honestly, I don't think if I went through that, I wouldn't have been able to get through a lot of other things that followed up later on in my life and maybe in the future. But I am always here. Even if I don't know you, I will be somewhat an ear for you to talk to. I really don't mind. And if you do know me and you are going through this, like, I would be more than happy to help you through this tough situation. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you take something from this and know that you're not alone. You really aren't. I promise you that. And I appreciate you so much for watching this, and I hope that you have a good day, a good night, whenever you're watching this, and take care, okay?